It was the summer after my junior year of college, and it would have been 1991. And I was so excited to move out of the dorms and into my first apartment. And the owners of the home lived in the lower flat, and my two girlfriends and I rented the upper flat. And I was the first of the three of us to move in that summer. So this first experience happened when I was actually unpacking. I walked into the bathroom with a stack of bath towels, and the faucet on the sink was turned on high with the water gushing out. And I was the only one in the apartment, and the owners both worked, so they weren't home either. I just remember feeling so unnerved that I called my mom. And things kind of continued, but at first I thought it was sort of all in my head. But then when my roommates moved in, things got really interesting. Now, in those days, you would have a television set, and you would literally have to stand up if you wanted to change the channel, go over to the TV, and you would actually have to physically turn the dial on the TV to change the station. But the channel on our TV would turn to a new station or to complete static all the time on its own. Items would also physically move around our apartment. For example, we had a chess set, and it was a really heavy chess set, and the pieces were carved out of marble. And they would physically move on their own. We could never really explain any of this, but I can assure you that it was not the couple downstairs who had two young children and just very normal. And it wasn't my roommates, because things would happen to us when we were all together within sight of each other. At this stage of, I guess, the haunting, you could call it, we didn't feel like this ghost or spirit was evil. So we decided that if we named it something fun, that maybe we could just make friends with the ghost, and it would reduce our instances of feeling freaked out. So we called the ghost Marvelous. We called him Marvy for short. And we took a notebook and we started documenting every time something strange happened. And we had lots of pages that were full. So at first, this ghost felt more playful, but then things started to feel a lot more intentional. And for instance, we would get locked out of our unit all the time. You'd go grab a bag of groceries from your car and you couldn't get back in the unit. And we had two doors that were next to each other. We would leave both of them open and both of them unlocked, and we would get locked out. So we had to hide keys everywhere in our landing to make sure that we could always get back in our apartment. Okay, so one day my roommate, who was super tidy and organized, she couldn't find her set of car keys and house keys. So we ripped the apartment apart looking for them. We checked her backpack, we checked her coat pockets, we took all the cushions off the couch and checked down inside the couch. We couldn't find them anywhere. And I will never, ever forget this or the feeling of what happened to us, but we actually found her keys neatly laid under the pillow of her perfectly made bed. And that's when things started to feel more, I would say, dark. The most unsettling experience I felt was I was walking in the kitchen and I found the gas stove burner on high, shooting above the cooking grate. And that was 2 years after walking into the bathroom within an hour of moving in and finding the sink faucet on and pouring out water. We never even told our landlords that this was happening, just because we thought they would think that we were crazy. I don't even think we told a lot of people about our experiences. We wrote everything down because it helped us sort of rationalize that, yes, these things were happening. The only thing that I can think to explain these sort of spirits or poltergeist was that somehow this being was attached to the couple in the lower flat, or maybe their furniture in the rec room of the basement, which was sort of old and, you know, what you would describe as antique. Because shortly after those people sold the house and moved, life became normal again. And it really wasn't meant for us. We just happened to be in the way of where Marvelous wanted to live.